Good evening, everybody. I hope you're all doing well. I'm clearly slightly distracted here. I've been trying a new setup because I am terrible at paying attention to you guys whenever you're talking to me. And so you guys chat now has the big monitor right next to where I can see. So hopefully I'll pay more attention to it. And uh, then the studio is over on the prompter, the Elgato prompter vision here. So let's transition that over there. We're going to jump right into some of the most exciting coding that you can imagine. I wish that was a real picture of me, that I went out and did a photo shoot with a cheesy Viking helmet and whatnot. I don't want to do that right now. Okay, hold on. Where am I? Music, background music. Oh no, we're gonna start you over, and then desktop audio is muted currently. It's now not muted. So let me know if that's too loud or where it stands. Okay. I forgot to say hello to the chat, so I will do that. Although I did shout hello in chat whenever I realized that I just went live with myself on prior to the intro. Very smart, big brain stuff. Sword Rush, as always, thank you so much for moderating and dropping links. If anybody wants to join the Discord, the link can be found at the top of chat. Jamie T, good to see you. Guilty Gearhead, Horizon Talker. I still have not watched. Horizon Talker was on IronAge Night's episode. Just came out, I think, this Friday. I can't remember if it was out on Friday or Saturday, but I have not gotten around to watching that yet. But it's on the list, and his book, Have Spell Will Travel, is a recommendation from me. So I'll be honest, I have not touched this much since last time I was on stream, but I've been playing the game with a few modifications to base values and things like that, and I've come to the conclusion that I need to figure out a way to sort of even out how the player character handles, and basically things were scaling too quickly. So yeah, but anyway, I have a solid plan for that, but this is going to be a lot of coding. So within the way the game works is that the player has a it does not actually know what actions it has. It just has a container that the buttons sort of independently live by themselves. The player is largely just a stat repository and a way to handle those stats and manage damage and manage upgrading the stats and the dice. Frog helms. I'm trying to think about. Well, the problem, Horizon Talker, is that I'm not confident that I like the current game loop. In fact, I decided that I did not like the game loop as it stood, and that there was something fundamentally wrong with it. And I was starting to think of more complicated solutions for it. And I think that this should fix things without without having to build a whole new system or something like that in there. Yeah, what have you guys been up to? I'm trying to think. When did I stream last time? Was that last week? Or the week before? Everything has just been a blur. Yeah, I just looked at frog helmets as well, and I was like, oh, those do look cool. Okay, so within the player, there's the HUD. I think the HUD is where, yes, we have the action list. Let's open that up. I don't know what I changed. We'll just leave that alone. Well, even if it's not useful, you're at least up to something. I was going to try and play the RoboCop game, and that my laptop didn't like it, so I'm tabled that idea. Indie Souls-like game, Bleak Faith Forsaken. I'm curious about that. Here we go. Let's do that. I'm curious. Oh, no. Looks interesting. Looks like it's probably too high skill level for my abilities. Okay, so action list. Amateur medievalist. Everybody has their favorite helm, clothing. So what is your, if you have a favorite helm, what's your favorite? You know, you got the frog helm. What's your weapon? What's your loadout, Jamie T? And anybody else who's enough of a medieval nerd to know? Okay, so this is all totally good. I don't need to change anything. This is one thing that I do love about Doe, is that it definitely wants you to be modular. Beck to Corbin Wimple. My goodness, I don't know what these words are. Well, that's good. Souls-like for scrubs is right up my alley. Now I'm curious what the heck a Beck to Corbin is. I'm sure that's not how you pronounce it. Oh, I see. It's a can opener. Yeah, one of those things. Very nice. All right. Let me find action button. There's action list. It's not open. Action button. Whoa, that's not good. Am I? No, hold on. Don't do that. Okay. Action buttons. Okay. I think this is... Is that an old? No, it's not. Okay. Right/, there's the action button. Okay, I'm finally in the right place. I might have to check out that game. You know what game I tried the demo of, and it made me go, dang, I wish I'd made I wish I'd decided to make this game. What was it? He Is Coming. It's a little indie auto battler game where you just move around, and I used to think that auto bat, like I would see auto battler and I was like, I I want to have nothing to do with this. And I've kind of come around on auto battlers in the sense that if you're going to have boring, repetitive combat that doesn't really give you a lot of agency, you might as well just automate it. In a way, and it works out. It's like a nice thing that you can do for indies. Hey, Devaney, scared to death by lurking in the dark 6-year-old. Yes, she does that. She does that a lot. I just read the part of The Hobbit where you first run into Gollum, and he is trying to get he's doing the riddle game essentially, and the 6-year-old was extremely taken by that. I hear my dog dropping his bone from as high as his short little stubby legs will allow him onto the tile floor. Anyway, but yeah, so I was reading that section. She was very taken by that section, and now wants to learn lots of riddles herself, presumably because she thinks it's going to save her from being eaten by some kind of slimy underground creature. Which, I mean, that's probably not going to be something that she needs to worry about, but you never know. Never know. Okay, action output. Perform action. Action output. Damage type. All right. Calc results. Okay, so this is where I need to do surgery. Oh God, I forgot I did this way. This was stopgap. This is shameful. Shameful. Okay. So I need to slow down the level at which damage or the output of these actions is scaling. So the best way to do that is I always say I love dice pools. But then what I did with this game is that I had a dice pool and I immediately turned it. I got rid of the dice pool aspect of it, started counting each die as an individual thing, and then I did the exact opposite of a dice pool and started multiplying things and made the problem worse. So I need to move back towards having a dice pool where I am averaging out the results of more dice. So I wonder if, let's see here, whenever a die is rolled, I should probably average the entire stat. I'm gonna, Devaney, like, can you see what that dog is doing? Hold on. Okay, anyway. Afraid he's gonna break his dang bone or the tile, one or the other, the way he's clattering that thing around. Yeah, averaging out a larger dice pool. So I want to get more averaging going on. So I think what I sort of want to do is assume that each so each die is that if we want to say that we have a total of 4 die, no matter what the situation is, I'm gonna have to figure out how I'm doing this. Okay, so role values 0, 1. So where am I populating role values? This would change. This would need to affect whether or not I. Okay. All right. I need to figure out a good way. Oh, Fred, let me get rid of that. Okay. Figure out a good way to make these dice pools a little bit, or make these numbers a little bit more stable, so they don't fluctuate so wildly. Let's see here. Zweihander. Yeah, great swords. I do know what I know what a Zweihander is. Oh yeah, I don't know. I'm not as concerned with appeasing the grognards here. Okay, so the roll values are that. So that's what we get each time, and the roll values are check ready. Roll values dot clear, get roll values. Okay. How do we get roll values? And required stats. Okay. For I and required stats, match I. Okay. Multipliers. Okay, so then if we have the required stats, that kind of cuts down how many move types we can have if I do it as a dice pool. So it just sort of makes everything a bit more mushy than I probably want it to be. I've been to Kansas City in eons. They do have they have a fair amount of stuff in Kansas City as far as museums and things. I think my folks were telling me about like a steamboat museum that was there. That was pretty cool. Okay, so the first thing I need to figure out is how to handle required stats. So order matters, primary, secondary, tertiary. So let's take light slash for example. How do I have this set up? Vigor and grace. There we go. Okay, so that at least gets us the information in the tooltip. That'll help me remember. Okay, so if we have instead of required stats, and we say that all stats are required, and you're allowed to maybe take one action per turn, then that doesn't necessarily... Does that work? That undermines some of the reroll counter, because one of the things that I did like about this was the it's gonna have to reroll them all. I like that you can build up rerolls in that way, so then you get 7 there. Oh, thank you. Yeah, Devaney sent that over. I don't know if it was like that. I guess it wasn't like that last time. Here, I'm thinking about this. I'm sitting here. The 8 damage. We have the persistent problem of faith being the most powerful stat, which maybe I just need to rebalance how that works, but I still feel like this is not doing as much as I wanted to. I think it's better to be able to... we got a little bit of a glitch here. If I kill the enemy, it's not giving me the excess rerolls, or the reroll counter that I should. With this, I have a ton of options. Maybe I just divide by 3. I don't know. Now I'm messing with it. I'm questioning whether or not I should even mess with this, or if I've been overthinking things. I think what I should do is leave it be and get it out and let you guys mess with it a little bit, and then say this feels really bad or this does not feel so bad. I think what I might need to do is have like a base damage based off the total primary stat, and then, or maybe not damage, but base value based off of the total of the primary stat, and then have rolls play slightly less of an impact or something like that. But the problem is that you could just scale like crazy, which maybe that's fun, maybe it's not. So one thing I do know that we could do is start creating some damage icons. That's not where they're going to be, not in inventory items. That'll be in, not even in UI. I need to make sure that we have them as sprites first. Okay, I don't think we do. We do not have a damage thing here. Maybe spread them out. Yeah, I think maybe that what I need to do is worry about that first. Okay, so let's get the damage icons in here. I think Devin did a great job on these. So let's do this layout. Just gonna do that. No, okay. All right, top left. All right, we'll do it like that. Actually, I just want to change the type to texture rect. We will do slash damage first. No. Whatever, fine. Okay. Much better. What I want to do is have a mouse over and just do that. So it pops up a little bit. What's the longest one? Here's probably. Okay. And that's probably too big, but let's make that nope. Make that unique. Where is the having a moment? Yeah. Okay, we're gonna do something like this. Anchor. Bottom. And then that needs to be that. This is riveting stuff, isn't it? Okay. Ah, okay. What on earth? Oh, I see. 60. 40. I can math, I promise. That is the slash icon. I know I'm saying Pierce because I'm trying to figure out what the largest word would be, so I can size this thing. But that does remind me, so I can obviously be a little bit smaller. 85, let's make it 86, or let's just do 90. And then this, all right. And then that needs to be centered. I don't like whatever's going on here with the numbers not being in the same line as the letters. $99 Brosnan. Yes. Okay, so that should be... Well, hold on here. How big is this thing? All right, so let's do a new theme. Black. And we need to add a... Oh, this should be a panel. Okay, let me change this. Okay. Style box flat. New style box flat. Black. Border width none. Corner radius. Like that. Shadow none. I forgot about the colors. Let's make it... fairly clear. That should probably be good enough. Now, why this number? Yeah, I don't know why the 9s. This is one thing I hate about using random Google fonts is that... Look at that. Oh, that's terrible. What is this? Oh. Let's see here. Cormorant unicase. All right, let's do it. Let's try something else. Oh no. Oh no, I got a lot of options here. Slotto regular. Not very fantasy. It is very readable, though. Let's try it. That's I can live with that. Okay. So let's yeah. All right, and we'll put that in the scripts folder. All right. No, I don't want a panel. Okay. Let's get that on there. And then we're going to have a simple mouse entered and mouse exited. And then a simple okay, info to hide. Could probably do that a little bit. Really, the correct way to do that is with some kind of to do that with some kind of system, as far as what that would be, like an animation. Sorry, that's what I'm thinking. Boy, howdy, I'm tired. So let me also get. Okay, and so there was somebody doing something really clever with initialization functions, but so this should be hidden by default. Yeah, this is nice, simple stuff. This I'm realizing. I was looking at the damage and output calculations that I had, and my brain just turned off. And so I was like, I'm gonna go do something nice and easy. So if we make this universal, then we can do this in a nice, easy way, so that I don't have to set up a bunch of crap. I can just create them in code. So sometimes you have to have kind of pedantic naming for things, because there's probably already a built-in setup function. Should that be an integer? Hold on. When I go into the utils, modified damage. So those are integers. Okay. Okay. All right, cool. So take me back. Where I want to go. Oh, this is what happens when you don't program for a while. Damage type. Damage type. Okay. Okay. So in that moment of time, we just get text.text. I don't like the naming there. That's terrible naming. We're gonna do info panel. Okay. Still not very intuitive, but whatever, I don't care. Mount. There's more intelligent ways to do this, but how do you append a string? Can you append to a string? Go dot append string. Okay, excellent. All right, I can. You could use the plus equals. I was wondering about that. Let me just go back to. Aha. Cheat. Copy paste all your stuff. I mean, you can. Actually, that's a better variable name anyway. It's gonna hate all this, but why not? All right. I actually don't want to do that yet. Var and we'll go here. It doesn't autocomplete anything if you don't we go. All right. Blung. That's a new type of damage. Oh my goodness. I still am not reading chat as much as I should. Shifted down. No, okay, that was quite a while ago. Text.text. There we go. Okay. VBA. I haven't thought about VBA in eons until I had a job interview and somebody asked me if I was familiar with Excel, and I was like, I've seen things you wouldn't believe. Somehow I combined Deckard Cain and what's the replicant? spreadsheets on fire off the, you know, spreadsheets of accounting or something. I don't know. Wong damage. I wish I had. I wish I had. It was very funny because I have not done a job interview in a long time, but it occurred to me as I was sitting there, I was thinking about how I was sounding, and I was like, oh man, this is like being interviewed on a live stream. And it's like, oh, this is actually just like that, except instead of talking about a project or something, I'm just talking about myself. And I was and as I abstracted myself from it, I was like, oh yeah, okay, this is easy. But it was a different experience than I've had in a while. Keep your fingers crossed. It'd be nice to at least have something lined up as an alternative to my current situation. Although I will tell you, boy, we still got a lot of stuff to move. So, okay, so I think what that means is let's go to how are events managed? Tell me. Oh, it's been too long. Okay, so there's the event UI. There's the encounter scene. What does the encounter scene do? I think it just applies rewards. It doesn't actually do anything. So then the game instance is what's managing the level data. And that has the index. Thank you, Jamie. I really appreciate it. Yeah, and I've been in my current workplace for a very long time. So on one hand, it's like I'm probably not next up on the chopping block, but on the other hand, they sure have not been doing anything intelligent with our product line in a while, unfortunately. We've spent so much time like starting up and shutting down manufacturing facilities that we've fallen behind. Okay, so when current events, so then we get the current events. Okay, boy howdy, I should never go this long between working on this game again. I need to work on it like at least once every other day so that I keep all this stuff fresh in my brain. What is a current event? It's an event data. An event data is a resource. An event res, open. And then we have an encounter. That's not good. Act scenes are ambiguous. Okay. So components. Okay. I should have just looked in my dang file structure. So let's look at what does this physically look like? I think I remember now. A single cicada is named double cicada, but that's fine. We'll change that real quick. Yeah, that probably does accurately describe it. I was talking to Jake today, Jake Alta, and he made the comment that he saw somewhere that something like when asked about it, like 70% of hiring managers said that ghost jobs were a good thing. And it's like, oh, Lord. I don't know. Speaking of Jake, there's going to be a little something coming out on the 3rd. No, that's March. So, April 3rd. So on Thursday, there's going to be something new going up on the YouTube channel, the main YouTube channel, not this one, but IronAge Media, as well as other podcast platforms. So it's going to be an audio podcast primarily. There are visuals currently for it, but it's not worth the bandwidth to watch. It's just audio, really. So let me break into this. We've got, okay, so in a single cicada, we have the cicada medium. Then we've got a health bar. So tell me about yourself. How does this work? So it has total health. So it gets total health from the summation of the enemies, because it goes through the anchors and it grabs each enemy off of an anchor and it figures out which one has the highest perception, and it takes that one, and then it adds up the armor and health, and it appends everything together. Now, right now I don't have health section indicators, which is something I probably should do. So we need to have so what do we do here? Take damage. I know that we are, in fact, getting... Okay, calc modified. Total defensive buffs, total health. Okay, so where are we getting the buffs? Set up combat. Well, that's armor. Hold on. Aha, okay. We don't need to worry about attack buffs because the enemies handle their own attacks. This thing is where the rubber meets the road on the defenses. Yeah. Old Sword Rush was formerly a coworker of mine, and I could say, no doubt that it's been a good thing for him to get out of there. I also probably should have left a long time ago, but then again, if I had left, then I would have I would have definitely run into the situation where I probably would not have made IronAge Media, and I wouldn't be doing any of this. So I might actually be overall less happy. So I don't know. I'm a glass half full kind of guy on these things. So, but as it stands now, yeah, it's time to go. Time to figure out a way out of here. So let's see here. Total defensive buffs. So if that's the case, then let me whenever total defensive buffs changes, nothing exciting happens. So setup combat occurs. Okay, I'm just making sure that I am create particle, begin, so that's just starting the combat. So we're going to have that actually as a function. Okay, and then this goes in here, but that's actually what that means is that I'm going to need something. I'm going to need to pass something in. That would be an integer, correct? For I in enemy list is enemy list. It's an array of enemies, not array of integers. Enemy list. Okay. Okay. All right, that's fixed. So that just needs to be that, and then I. That should still work. Let's see if that breaks the game. Gonna break. It'll be here in just a moment. No. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, it didn't break. That's all that matters. Yeah, we did work at the same place. Yeah, and I was gonna say, I think I'm. No, I don't think I know. I was the one who passed along your resume to our grumpy old boss. So I'm just saying, maybe I shouldn't remind you of that because I don't know if that's like, you owe me one for the foot in the door, or if you owe me one for the years of terrifying workplace experience. Probably a wash, frankly, coming out slightly in the negative. Let's see here. Okay, what was I doing? Set up events. It's not what I wanted to do. So this is where I want it to be. All right, so if we're doing that, set up combat, pop the back, removes the last value so they disappear. As soon rather than as soon as there's damage. Okay. All right, so how does taking damage occur? You know what, let's just screw all that. Let's say set up combat. And then what we're going to need to do is go in here and figure out the health bar. It's after 9:30. I can feel my brain getting even more sluggish than usual. What am I doing here? 50? Yeah, okay. So that actually should be a What kind of container would that be? Item list. An HBox container, that's what I wanted. And then layout. Left to right, I think. And then I actually want the minimum has to be, what is that, like 40? And this to be, what, 200? Maybe make that 3. Yeah, okay. All right. Okay. All right. We can change all the health bars at once by doing this. That there. And then we're going to have a and that would need to be an array of integers, I believe. Yeah, the old boss is a pretty good guy, all things considered. Although he's significantly more laid back since you've left, primarily because he's no longer a manager. Subject matter expert now. Okay. Okay, so all right, we're just gonna get rid of the errors there, and then we're not gonna worry about any of hooking anything else up right away. Update resistances. This thing would have the total buffs. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that would make sense there. I think, once again, I can go to utils and copy this over here. Resistances dot size. Okay, so we actually want to make those ints because then we can do I, and then we can say something Like, and this should be in order. 0. 1, 2. I need to check. Let me just check this real quick. Globals. / blunt, pierce, fire, acid, dark. Yes. Okay. Never mind. I don't even need to look. 3. The most exciting programming you've ever seen. Extremely poorly done match statements. Better than if else, I suppose. Let's see here. Okay. What we'll actually do is I actually don't think I need to do that, and then have a good one, Horizon. All right, hey, you have a good one, Horizon Talker. I'll catch you later. I just want to finish this function before I fall asleep. What is this? The res container. Actually, all of this probably needs to go in one more. And then we say if I dot I are greater than 0. Okay. We'll just do it like this, so then we can have negative persistence if we want to. We want to have weaknesses. We can telegraph it in that way. Maybe yes, maybe not. Right. There we go. Get new there. And then what we'll say is new icon dot setup icon. Resistances I, comma, global dot damage type dot slash. Okay. Okay. Blunt. What was it? Pierce. Fire. Acid. Dark. Okay. All right. Oh, and then we would need to actually do something with that new icon. So we would need to say res container dot add child new icon. All right. So now, at least whenever we do this, do you know where your health contained? Do we have a health bar? We do know where the health bar is. Health bar dot res update resistances. Isn't that what I called it? Res update resistances, and then we do total defensive buffs. Okay. Now, what that means is that nope, stop that. Okay. Well, we're gonna have an issue where there may be damage icons that stack up over time. So anyway, we will cross that bridge when we come to it. Now let's see here, because I also need to have it select the correct thing. Select icon type. I should have made that an animated sprite, but that's okay. It'll all be the same icon, visually speaking. I wonder if okay. Text with type string on a type nil. Okay. So what failed? The damage icon failed. Aha, info panel. Info text. But it's not upset. Oh, info panel is a label. There. Okay. And this actually probably should be changed to an animated sprite 2D. Okay. And then what I need to do there is take these and then damage icons. Okay. Okay, hold on. We need to use all brain power to make sure we put these in the correct order. Drag them over. Blunt / blunt pierce. Sorry, I can't even see you guys' chat anymore. So if you're talking to me, I apologize. I think, by the way, I think Devaney did a great job with these. I'm very happy with them. Let's see here. Dark. Okay. Dark might be too dark, but I don't know if I'm having an intelligent thought here. Can you make the dark brighter? Doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? Okay, so we still have the correct nearest map. And then we say frame equals 0. One, two, and 5. Okay. All right, let's try again. I can see you guys again. Good, I'm glad. Oh, all right. Night, Jamie. I just saw that as well. String on base object type nil. Okay. So what it's saying is that the damage icon info.text text dot text temp string temp string plus equals. All right, let's try this again. All right, good. O2 slash. So. Panel. Info panel is a panel. And info is a label. I've selected the label. Okay. Print. Spell correctly, and then print info panel. And then print info. Let's see. That is slash. Yeah, I think you were confused by my rather obtuse way of doing things. Yeah, it is past all the bedtimes. Okay, hold on. Null and null. Okay. So it doesn't know what the panel is, and it doesn't know what the info is. It can't recognize either one. Why would that be? Damage icon. Damage icon new. Export car. That's very strange. Oh. Okay. You know what? This is definitely. I give up. I'm gonna call it here. It's making the string correctly. It's printing the string, but it doesn't know what the panel is. I have assigned the panel. Oh. Okay. Hold on. I know what to do. Hold on. I know how to fix this. This is a silly thing. This is one of those the way Godot handles data and children. You can't have children without being part of the node tree. Oh man, I thought I was so smart. Shoot. Well, all right. Tomorrow. Where is the thing? Oh, no. Oh yeah, I'm gonna add that to my wish list. Maybe I'll try it, maybe I won't. We'll see. Okay. All right. Thank you guys for listening to my incoherent babbling as I struggled with very simple tasks on Godot. I hope that you guys had a good time anyway, and you know that you maybe even learned a little something about Godot with this wonderful extremely well explained series of exercises. That said, uh, I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your evening and a great week. I will talk to you again on Friday, but or not on Friday, on next Sunday evening. This Thursday, however, there will be a podcast episode that was recorded quite a while ago, so it's a little bit older, but with Jake and I running through some different thoughts, and I'll tell you guys more about that coming up to it. Thank you guys, and y'all have a wonderful rest of your night.